have any
Yep.
tips in terms of getting great guests on your show that are interesting? What are some of your top tips for that, or a top tip?
There is a number of things that you can do. I will say that from the guest perspective, I think, which is where I spend a lot of my time, is helping people be better podcast guests. They come into this with they have something they want to accomplish, and you have to cater to that. And a lot of podcast guests will supply questions on the front end that you can use to build a format
Yep.
that will cater to their expertise. And I highly recommend that you do that. Now, you don't have to ask the questions verbatim as they lay them out to you. Whenever I get questions sent to me, I always doctor them up and make them a little fancier. And I'll even take them and go, like I said, go another level deeper just to get more of a conversation out of them. But that's going to allow their focus to be where it needs to be when they're a guest on your show. If they know they're coming on a podcast where their expertise is going to be respected and it's going to be reaching the right audience, and you're catering to them with a good conversation, that's going to make them excited to be on your show. So that's going to have a two-pronged effect. They're going to tell everybody else how great it was to be on your podcast. So now you'll have other people reaching out to you. Or when people hear that interview themselves, if they're in that same industry or they're in your niche, they're going to reach out and say, I just heard you talking with Jeff on your podcast. That was phenomenal content. I'd love to be a guest on your show because I can talk about something similar and I can add X, Y, and Z. So just to get that organic type of growth from getting guests on your show, that's a good tip. Again, it all comes back to producing quality content, right?
Yep.
Now, a service that I use that's helped me tremendously, and I'll always give a plug for these guys, is PodMatch. PodMatch is like a dating site for finding podcast guests and for finding podcast hosts. So if you're a host of a show and you want to find quality guests, you set up a profile that allows you to connect with people based on certain criteria, and it will match you based on what industry you're in, what you're looking to talk about, what your area of expertise is, so on and so forth. There's a number of questions. It's incredibly thorough. Without question, the most thorough guest booking site or guest connection site that I've ever been a part of.
Okay.
So that's something I recommend to everybody. And that I accredit that site a ton to helping me build Evolution of Brand, my podcast, because I've met so many people through that platform, which has then connected me to others. Because if I had a good conversation, I've gotten a few referrals from people I've met there. It's a great platform and it's a great way to find good people, because I know that a lot of people are concerned about finding good guests. Am I going to be able to have enough quality conversations to really make this content take off? A service like PodMatch will help you do it.